Hey, it's David. One of the most common questions that I get asked is about this bike. People say, is it a 125 or is it a 390? Why do you call it a 390 when it clearly says 125 on it? So, let's answer that question. Okay, so there are several reasons why I have 125 stickers on this bike, which is a KTM 390 Duke. Now, I'm going to show you in a moment how to tell this from a 125 and not worry about these, because these are just stickers. That's all they are. These do not make a bike a 125 or a 390 or a 250. These are just stickers. Now, the 125 and the 250 has these stickers. Obviously the 250 says 250 here, and the 390 has a different decal set. But they're just decals. They peel off and you can stick new ones on. Now, when I bought this bike, it was crashed, and like most of the crash bikes I've seen, it's wiped out on this side. So the handlebars were bent, this panel was smashed off, the radiator here was smashed, and so forth. So I bought new panels for it. I've since damaged them by dropping it again, but because I've got crash protection on the bike, that didn't destroy the panel this time, it just damaged it a little bit. But either way, this is a replacement panel, and when you buy these replacement panels, they just come orange or white depending on what you buy. They don't come with the decals. You have to buy the decals separately, and you have to buy a complete set. You can't just buy this one. You've got to buy this one, and the ones that go on the back of the bike as well. So they come as a complete set. There's no buying just individual ones. So when you buy them, you either buy a 390 in the UK or you buy a 125 set. I bought 125. There are several reasons why I did it. I'm not going to go into all of them just now, but one of the reasons I went into it is because it does reinforce for video purposes that most of what I'm talking about when I talk about these bikes in the videos applies to the 125s just as much as it applies to the 390s. That's because a lot of the parts are interchangeable. You have to be a little bit careful when buying parts to make sure it does fit your bike. But I've bought parts for 125s for this bike, and you can buy parts for 390s that will fit on the 125. So, before I go into proving that this is a 390, let me show you what the big difference and the most obvious way of telling a 125 from either the 250 or the 390, because you'd have difficulty telling a 250 and a 390 apart, to be honest, if you didn't have the stickers. So the simple answer is the frame. On this, and this is very difficult to replace or repaint because it's, it'd be really difficult. This is unlikely to get changed. You will find some people who've done it, but it's really rare. This is an orange frame. This is only fitted to the 250 and the 390. Now, I will caveat, and I will say I know someone who has put a 390 engine into a 125, and I know at least one other person has considered doing it or is in the process of doing it, so there is always that. But this is orange. On the 125, it's black. Similarly with the tow unit, this is easier to replace because it's bolt-on, but it still takes time and it's a lot of effort. This is white on the 250 and 390, and it's orange on the 125. So if you can see a black frame with an orange tail unit, it's a 125, and it's very unlikely to be anything else. Not impossible, but very unlikely. Now there are some other tells as well. The wheels are orange on the 390 and they are black on the 125. but that's quite easy to change. And I know people who don't like the orange wheels on their 390s and have changed them to the black 125 wheels. So I'm saying a lot of this stuff is interchangeable. The fuel tanks, it's all interchangeable. There are some market specific things that are different between the different models. So for example, in the US they don't get the LED indicators, they get big bulb indicators because it's a legislation thing. In India the 125 doesn't come with the LED headlight and the TFT screen, or it didn't. Maybe you can now, but it didn't at one point. It comes with the old style headlight and instruments, and as far as I'm aware, from what I'm told by people from there, that is because it keeps the cost down and allows the Duke 125 to compete with other bikes in the Indian market. In the UK, the 125 competes with the Japanese bikes, so it's priced into the same point and has the LED TFT screen, because that's what people in the UK want. It's not to say there aren't cheaper bikes, there are a lot of cheaper bikes out there, but this is priced into the same price point as the Japanese bikes. So those are the primary difference, and there are a lot of shared components. The wheels, as far as I know, are the same. The forks appear to be the same, although they do have a slightly different part number on them. If you go onto a part database, they are the same on the 125, the 250 and the 390. The rear shock looks the same to me, but apparently might be slightly different between the 125s and 390, but certainly visually it is the same, so you can't really use that. Let me show you the one thing that proves this is a 390. So here's the 125 logo on the tail unit. Does that make it a 125? The 125 logo on the tank panel. Does that make it a 125? 125? $390. Right, so I hope that makes things a little clearer for people. Just because it says 125 on a removable panel does not make the bike a 125. An oil change video on a 125 is the same as an oil change video on a 250 or a 390. Similarly with the chain and sprockets and such. All the principles of the bike are the same because it is basically the same bike with a different engine in it. Don't be fooled by this because it's really not that important. So thanks for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe if that's the things that you do, and if you do subscribe you're more likely to see the follow-up videos that I will be making on this bike, because there's some more stuff that needs doing to it. So thanks for watching, and I will see you again soon.